Hello, this is Kev.
And Lil. We're discussing relationships in all of its forms and everything in between.
We've been together close to 30 years. We've seen some things together and apart.
So if you want to laugh or need advice, come and spend some time with Kev and Lil. Have we met?
Hello, everyone. Today's topic is dating your spouse. I have to admit, I'm not as romantic as my husband is. I try to buy sexy lingerie, but I feel like it's a waste of money. I'm sorry. You literally have the stuff off in
I don't know
2
why
seconds.
I really don't understand why you would think it's a waste of money
Because
because that
it's
makes
like
it sound like
I barely
I'm
have
not
it off
worth
in 2
it.
seconds.
Okay, who cares if I freaking tear it off with my teeth? It doesn't matter. It's the effort. It's the thought. Oh my gosh, that's right. It's the thought that counts.
Okay, I guess.
Come on,
2-second thought. Okay.
Look, there's a number, and I'm saying a number of reasons. I did some research. Also, I always felt this way anyway, but I can tell you that there's a number of reasons why you need to remind yourself to date your spouse or your significant other or whatever you want to talk. It doesn't matter what you want to call the other person. Mm-hmm. You don't want to fall into the roommate phase. That's one of the main
routine. There's always you fall into this routine.
Absolutely, you fall into a rut. Mm-hmm. A rut. You fall into you come home. Oh, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see. Can we just watch TV? And then nine times out of 10, you're not even watching the TV. You're TikToking, or you're watching reels, and you're sending 15 freaking videos to me like I'm supposed to sit there and watch every freaking video.
And not a reply from one.
Who cares? It means nothing.
Oh, please. You don't even watch TV. The TV watches you.
Look.
You go to sleep.
I don't go to sleep, and you know that. There's plenty of
fall
times that I
asleep
get up and I
all
get
the
up.
time.
Here we go.
And
again.
it's that thing like, you know what? He's not even watching TV. I try and grab the remote. I was watching that. Yeah, in between snores.
No, not anymore. You know very well. Yes,
Whatever.
that used to happen
Dude,
all the time.
how many times did I come out today and you were like,
well, that's a different story.
Out.
But what were you doing? You were in the room watching YouTube.
No.
Yes.
No, I was.
When I came in, what were you watching?
Well, yeah, because I was like,
okay,
3 hours later after I cooked, after I washed the clothes.
Oh my gosh! Look.
Whatever.
Look, you must make your marriage a priority. This means putting real effort into growing and maintaining the relationship. It means putting your spouse, first, and it might mean
Freudian
sacrificing other things for the sake of your marriage. Not sitting there looking at videos 20 hours a day.
Come on, Mr. TikTok. I swear to God, guys, I thought I was going to have to take him to the hospital. He was freaking out because the TikTok was not going to be around.
My God, you're so full of crap.
Well, what am I going to do now? I'm like, go on Instagram or wherever. I don't.
Well, let's be honest, it's not the same thing. But still, it's regardless of that, okay? We're talking about dating your spouse. It's talking about airing her out. You know what I'm saying? Because she's getting a little musty. You know what I mean? There's the little tune-ups. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta remind yourself of why you're together or why you got together. And
I agree. You gotta set aside time to spend with your significant other. I agree on that. You gotta make time no matter what, because life gets hectic, and you have to. Sorry, guys, but you have to schedule that date in.
Yeah. It sounds funny. I remember seeing jokes of that on TV and movies years ago of, yes, let's schedule sex. And I'm going, schedule sex? What the hell is... And as you get older, you realize, you might have to schedule sex.
Well, it's not about sex only. Jesus Christ.
No. I'm not saying us. I'm just saying in general.
Scheduling,
you
spending time together.
You want to remind yourself of why you're together and so on. Like I said, I was researching some of it on the internet, and it's funny because there's different rules. There's the 777 rule and the 333 rule.
Your friends.
And the 222 rule. Yeah, okay, not that 7. Though that can help. but still, the it's the different rules, and they all pretty much mean the same thing. The 777 is seven day. What is it? I think it's 7 days. You set aside time to go do something or spend time together. Then 7 weeks you set aside, let's say, a weekend away. And then 7 months, you set aside that vacation time that you're away for at least a week or whatever it is. Of course, you don't have to. I think rules such as that are okay if you're forgetful, and you need to remind yourself of certain things. But again, the 222 and the 333, all pretty much the same thing. The difference is instead it's like 2 days or 2 weeks and three hours. I don't know, whatever it is. The point is it all goes back to the same rules as far as just making sure that you remind them why you're together.
Okay, but my thing is, like, I brought this up to my kids, my son and his wife, my daughter-in-law. They were going out, and I was babysitting. I was watching my grandbabies, and I was like, I'm so happy that you guys are going out, spend time with each other, because you lose yourself in that routine. Like I was saying before, you lose yourself in the 9 to 5, going to work, doing your projects. You lose yourself in the kids, in the after school curriculars. You lose yourself in, oh, what am I going to make for dinner today? So you get stuck in this routine. And I'm sorry, but the romance starts to fizzle out. Like he said, it's not a husband and wife any longer. It's just like a roommate. We share chores. We share, whatever. We split the grocery bill, but you have to work on rekindling your romance. And I was telling my kids that, sometimes Dad and I don't have time and we go shopping together. Like yesterday, we went food shopping and they're like, oh, but that's not a date. Well, if you make it a date, you make it fun. You support each other's ideas. Like I was like, those onions suck. And he's like, oh, I know, they're horrible. Okay, honey, whatever. Yes, dear.
Yes. That's
Let's
my go-to response. And she always thinks it means something else.
Meaning.
No, it's not a double meaning. It means one thing.
No.
The only thing is
you just want to shut me up. That's what the yes, dear means.
Yes, dear.
No.
No, I mean, look, and it happens also a lot of times once the kids are born, you fall into that rut. But you also have to remember, even if those kids are there, arrange a babysitter to take care of the kids and maybe even the pets if you need to. If you feel like you don't want to leave the pet behind or whatever it is. Because you know how some of you people got the weird connection with your dogs. I don't know what the hell that is all about. But yeah, you have to maintain that connection. Sometimes you have to rekindle the romance. You want to act like the relationship is new, maybe, because remember, in the long run, it's just the two of you when the kids move out. And then what are you doing? Then you're sitting there just looking at each other from across the room going, what the hell did I do? What? Seriously, I joke a lot. I'll see people outside and her and I are, we're teasing each other. We're joking a lot of times. And then I'll turn to someone and I'll just go, don't get married. But out of the two of us in the long run, the honest God truth, I was the one that wanted to get married to begin with.
I didn't.
Yeah, she was cold like that. Yeah. But no, it's you gotta. I say this to a lot of people. They love to ask the silly question of, what's the secret? There ain't no freaking secret, dumbasses. Okay? There is no secret. You took a vow. You stick with your vows. Okay? There's a reason why you went into it to begin with. Okay? Don't take the easy way out. Don't think, oh, you know what? We had a good run. Yeah, sometimes I get it. Sometimes it is what it is when it comes to that.
Ups and downs, absolutely.
But I remember this, and let me tell you, my partner over here used to say it all the time. Oh, well, if it doesn't work out, we'll get divorced. I'm like, what the are you, why? Are you serious? You going into it like that? That's not exactly a home run for me. You know what I'm saying? That's not a positive remark for me.
Well, not everybody can make it work. So don't make it sound like if you don't work hard enough, because there's plenty of people that do work hard in their relationship, but unfortunately, sometimes they weren't meant to be.
No, you're absolutely right. I know plenty of people. I got some people that I'm directly related to that they weren't meant to be. Okay? I know that for a fact. They were not meant to be. I knew it from beginning that they weren't. But again, it's not my business to interfere. But I always do does the good outweigh the bad thing. And whatever. That's a whole other episode.
I used to do that a lot. I used to make pros and cons lists all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it boils down to when it comes to when it gets to that extent. Mm-hmm. When you forget that you still need to air that chick out, air that dude out. You know what I'm saying?
And guys, you don't have to spend a ton of money. Everybody is on freaking budget right now.
Tell me about it.
You
Eggs
could
are
go.
ridiculous.
Freaking ridiculous. Let's not even talk about eggs. You could do a picnic in the park. I mean, do with what you've got. And like I said, I was telling my kid, Dad and I didn't have time. If you don't have time, make time. If you have to go grocery shopping, go grocery shopping together. Go to your favorite grocery store. I know this sounds corny, guys, but it works. We start kidding around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We start remembering when we used to shop together when we were dating. Because, back then we were in a budget too.
Yeah.
That's a recurring thing.
Yeah, I know. That's a sad thing that we're living
But
in.
the point is we make time. Even if it's food shopping, laundromat. Sometimes I would bring cocktails hidden in a thermostat to the laundromat.
Oh, I remember when you would do that. Yeah. Like I said before, people, she's got no reason to drink. She just does. Okay?
Point is, I try and make it fun. Even if it's the laundromat. You make it a date night. Screw it. Put on some music. And guys, this one thing that I love about him. Doesn't matter where the heck we are. If a great song comes on or one of our favorite song comes on, it doesn't matter where we are. He wants to dance, and we just start dancing in the middle of anywhere.
Well, she's my permanent partner in dance. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get married, just so I knew I always had somebody that wouldn't say no to me dancing. Because trust me, people, I can't dance.
Is that it? Just dancing?
Maybe dancing in the sheets too, but. That's another episode. That's another episode. But
so you don't need a lot of money.
It's appreciation for one another.
Yes.
It's
the little things.
You also, people think, and don't get me wrong, it's gonna sound corny and it's gonna sound cliche, but she may not be my bestest friend, but she's definitely one of my best friends. And
I consider you as my bestest friend.
No, you don't. You don't tell me shit that you don't tell me everything. Let's speak honest.
Well,
and you know what? There's a lie.
If it has to do
There's
with other people, no, I don't tell you everything. Because you don't need to know about other people's business.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about between you and I consider you my best friend. And then my girlfriends are my other best friends.
Right. Well, this is what I mean. It's
no,
not like
no. You said you do not consider me as your bestest friend.
No, I mean because.
So why don't you take Paul to go dancing?
Okay, come on.
Why don't you take Paul?
Shout out to Paul. You finally came up.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to cough in your ear.
Yeah, because she's still coughing like a maniac. But no, I mean, I'm not saying that you're not. Again, you know what? I can't even come back from this at this point.
Yeah,
I really can't come back from this. Look, you are definitely top 3, maybe 2.
You're an ass. I don't want to hear
Very
it.
close 1.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You're an ass. I'm supposed to be your best friend, period.
No, we're not doing this. Don't do this. That's not fair.
Period.
That's
and
not
then
fair.
You have your best friends, like Paul and Delisha, even though Delisha's my best friend.
Yeah, exactly. They took that one away from me.
She's mine.
But,
sorry.
it's rekindling the romance. It's maintaining that connection. It sounds like a lot of little things, but and like Lil was saying, it's not just having to go out to dinner or or whatever, the
It's
movies
nice,
or
but you
whatever. I mean,
can't
it's
do it all the
there's
time.
nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's time at home too. It's that, hey, you know what? Because I think some of the best times we've had, and I'm gonna say this, and yes, I'm tooting my own horn. Is some of the best times we've had is when I make a nice dinner at home, and I set aside. and I make it nice, look really nice. I remember that time I did that in the backyard. I did the whole. It was during the pandemic.
was so cute, guys.
That was during the
I
pandemic.
came-
It was our anniversary or one of our anniversaries because we celebrate a couple of them. The time we met, the time
and
when we got
he
married.
remembers all the time.
Yeah,
I
man.
always forget, guys.
Yeah, she said
I
something.
am the man in this relationship.
She
But that was sweet. You did, because I came home from work. Yes, I was one of the very few people that actually had to go to work every day. There was no staying at home for me. So I would come home. I came home that night, and did you tell me before I got home that you were going to be in the backyard, or I?
No, I
figured it
think
out?
I had already started in the back from what I can remember. I think I had already started making it. And then I said, oh, and I dressed up somewhat, I sort of dressed up. And then you decided to change and you put on a nice dress.
I
not
put
that
on
it takes
one of your favorite
not
dresses.
That, yes, I love
Look,
that dress.
any
'cause she got
favorite
a
thing
rack
for
on
him
her,
that
man, let me
means
tell you.
is showing cleavage.
Yeah.
It
That's all
doesn't
she gotta
matter
do,
what
man.
it is. As long
Sometimes
as
she
I'm-
doesn't even have to show the cleavage. Sometimes she just could be, topless. It doesn't
Oh,
matter to me.
God almighty.
Um,
But that was very romantic.
yes, I am good, and I will say it again.
And
I
I
am good
said
at
that when we first started the freaking episode.
Yes, I know.
You are very romantic. I'm sorry, I suck at that.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, that's one of the
But
things
I make
you
it
suck
up
at.
in other things.
That's one of the things you suck at in a bad way.
Shut up, stupid ass. Our kids are listening to these.
Well, it's not like they haven't. They don't know
Dios
what's going
mío.
on. But it's also about being selfless. Because again, we can all be very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
We can all feel like, oh, what have they done for me lately? And why is it that I got to put in the effort? Why? Because you know what? You do. What do you think? Do you think everything just happens just because it happens? Ew, dude, girl, bro, whatever. It doesn't. The world literally does not revolve around you. Okay? You need to be selfless and remind yourself to do so. Okay? You got to remind yourself again. And there's another thing I tend to preach a lot. I say it to friends and relatives, and again, I don't call family family. I call them relatives because I don't feel like everyone is truly family, but we are related, and I wish them well. They know who they are. But regardless of that, you have to remind yourself of that. You have to, and the word I tend to use all the time is rededicating yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, like I said, he is very romantic. He's very thoughtful. That doesn't mean because I forget things or I'm not as romantic. I make it up in other ways. I also have to put in time and thought into things because it's not fair. It can't always be one way. It has to be a partnership. It has to go both ways. I might not. What are you trying to say? I might not be so romantic, but I make it up in other ways.
Okay.
So, and I try to do romantic things and, but speaking of the pandemic, you also have to try and do things that you both like.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, during the pandemic, we started hiking. I love that. I thought I wasn't going to like it very much, but I think I wound up liking it more than you because then I started buying the hiking sticks. I got
Yeah,
hiking
you always
boots.
tend to go a little overboard on accessories.
But I liked it. Oh my God, my voice is starting to go. Sorry, guys.
It's one of the reasons why we started hiking, because as we all remember, we were all quarantined, and I was actually furloughed or laid off from work. So I was home all the time, and I was making sure we were, I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was doing everything at home, and she still had to work. And I get it. She would be tired. She'd come home from work and she was tired. And because I remember those days, of course, I went through it as well. But I would tell her, we need to do something on the weekends because I'm going crazy here at home during the week. I get it if I'm not going anywhere during the week, but let's go out on the weekend or something. And we figured, and I started finding trails upstate and Jersey and Long Island. And,
Long Island is one of my favorites so far.
Yeah, that was a nice
Well,
one.
no,
the one in Jersey was nice.
That's the one with the waterfalls.
That was the one upstate. That was the one upstate.
One of my favorites.
The one in Long Island was the one with the pond. Mm-hmm. That was pretty. And then the one in Jersey was the one with the sensory.
I want to take my grandbabies to that one.
that was pretty. I like that one too. We haven't been back to any one of them. To tell you the truth, we need to try to go to one of them again this year.
As soon as it starts warming up, we got to start.
But again, let's steer back to where we were going. But that's one of the reasons why we were going out and we were hiking. That's why I said, look, maybe we can't go indoors anywhere, or we can't, because that's a whole other story too. Like, we can't be indoors with everybody having dinner or having a meal, but we can be indoors outside, which made no sense to me at all. But it's that it's rededicating yourself. It's reminding yourself of who they are, of why you were together, or why you chose one another. And if you're still not sure what to do with your spouse or your significant other, do some research. Everybody, Google this, Google what to freaking do.
Not only that, they have tons of things. Like, they even have board games now. They have, like, these scratch-off tickets. Yeah. Like, back in the day, we used to make each other, what were they? Love coupons or whatever the heck.
I still got mine. I got to find that stuff.
No, sorry, mine has expiration dates.
No, they didn't. They didn't put expiration dates on.
Guys, and another thing that I want to bring up. It also should be face-to-face. Yes, you go to a movie, but you're not talking. You're not interacting with each other in the movie.
I guess.
There's not face-to-face,
But you could discuss the movie afterwards.
Exactly. Would you stop cutting?
Oh,
good Lord. He loves to hear himself talk, people. Okay. I'm sorry. So like I was saying, face-to-face before I was rudely interrupted. Okay, let's go to a movie. But after the movie, Kevin and I, what we do is we go out to dinner. Put your phones down, because we have a bad habit, and I'm going to say more so me than him, that while we're waiting for the food, we'll pull out the phones and we start, on our phones. Put down your phones and either discuss the movie, what did you like, what you didn't like, or just, how was your day at work, how was your week. You need to talk to each other face to face.
Yeah. I mean, I again, my parents were together close to 62 years.
God bless.
Okay. And, it's a miracle they stayed together that long. I mean, I never really heard them have a conversation. I definitely heard them arguing plenty.
It's also another generation.
Yeah. I mean, they
stuck together for the kids. I mean, people still do that nowadays.
It's not as much.
Yeah.
But you have to evolve in the relationship. Mm-hmm. You got to evolve. You can't just sit there and just, you know what? It's not the same anymore. Like when we first started dating.
You just read my mind. I was just thinking that.
It never is. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, there may be hints of it throughout. There might be little things that pop up and go, man, that reminds me when we first started. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, there are hints, but as far as the relation, there's different stages of it. there, and you have
Everything
to learn to
evolves.
evolve with
Yes,
it. You have to
everything.
learn, and you have to learn to cherish those stages. You have to say to yourself, man, it was great in the beginning, man. We were banging it out every freaking night. You know what I'm saying?
Heaven.
We were doing what we got to do. We were
my
out
God.
partying. You know what I'm saying? We were doing what we did.
All right,
And
all right,
then-
all right. Get to
and
the
then,
point.
And then the next stage, you know, hey, you know what? We're home. You know, you know what? I like sitting next to you. Like, yeah, that's cool. We'll watch a movie, whatever. Next stage, you know, the kids come along. You're like, all right, little son of a gun, you know, kick him in the behind or whatever it is. And, you know, yeah, that's great. Yeah, take him to the games. With stuff like that. And then there's the next stage. And and trust me, there's going to probably be like 2 or 3 more stages for us as we go along. And right now, I think this is, and not that it's better or worse. I think it's new in this stage for us because now again
yeah.
we have to remind ourselves like, hey,
It's changing, but in my opinion, it's changing to the better.
it's changing. I don't know if it's better yet because we haven't gotten there yet. I think there's
No,
still
but it's
time
better
to
than what
find
it was before, in my opinion.
before what.
When the monotony, the routine.
Oh, okay, yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes,
we
yes,
talk
yes.
to each other. Like
you're right.
we let each other know, like there's something lacking. And like he said, we're not there yet, but it's not like we're going backwards. We're going forward.
You know, it's funny how she says that I love to hear myself talk. And sometimes, yeah, you could imagine that. I mean, people that are listening to this probably go,
have to
"Damn, this son of a
imagine
gun
that.
doesn't know when to shut up."
Yeah.
But it's also, I don't like any misconstrued notions. I like to say, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you doing this? You're making me feel this way. What?" And maybe that was the therapy in me or whatever, or that was, or you know. But I definitely like, even when we first got together, I turned to you and I said, I was so freaking old fashioned that I turned to you and I said, "Hey, will you be my girlfriend?" I actually said that. I was such a nerd. Yes, I know. I was such a nerd. And she was like, "Oh my God, you're adorable." And I was like, "Okay, you're making me more embarrassed. I can't believe I even asked." But
I was
again,
like, are you gonna pin me now? We're going to the sock hop. I'm gonna wear your Letterman jacket.
hey, I did have well, no, I had a letter. I didn't have a Letterman jacket, but either way, you know, again,
was
I don't like to have I don't like to have anything again misconstrued. I don't like anyone feeling like, well, what do you mean? Because she could tell you if I'm nothing if I'm not honest. I'm to the one point I could be brutally honest, and it could be
Yeah, cut that
detrimental
shit
to
back
my
a bit.
relationship with her, with everyone, just because of how honest I am. But yeah, it's rededicating, it's nurturing. It's
Not
nurturing.
not getting stuck in that routine. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's nice that once in a while you splurge.
Yeah, and we do that.
Yeah.
We do that. I
do
mean,
the-
at least I think I do
Yeah,
that.
we do to the hotels. I
Yeah.
mean, I love it. Like, even if it's overnight, I don't care.
Yeah.
You get away from the kids, the dog, the mail, everything.
And we're not talking about like we're flying away for a weekend every.
No,
You know,
go to freaking Jersey.
we
Go-
live in New York. We go over to Jersey. It's like, and they're like, "Where are you from?" And we're like, "Brooklyn." They're like, "Oh, you're here for a convention or something?" I'm like, "No, I'm just here to bang her. That's it." You know? And they're looking at me like they don't know what to say, and I'm going, "Yeah, that's it. Just pretty much, yeah. We just want to I just want to make sure we get one out. You know what I mean? But I gotta air her out. I gotta do that. I gotta show her off because you know I love to objectify my wife like you wouldn't believe.
What does that mean?
That means you know you're a piece of meat that needs to be seasoned.
Oh no.
Yes, she's having one of her coffee fits, people. She's having one of her coffee fits. But you know, you can do the research. You can do again. It doesn't take much. Literally put down in that search bar if you needed to. Dating your spouse.
That's what I did.
You know, and it'll pop up so many things. Just be careful with those X-rated sites. You know.
Well, there was
hey,
one that popped out. I'm sorry. I know we're about to turn this end this, but the hobbies. When I Googled how to date your spouse, one of them was hobbies that you could do together, and that's when I thought of hiking.
Oh, this is our hobby together right now.
Yeah,
We're spending time
podcasts.
doing this now.
Doing puzzles. I love.
Yeah,
doing
we haven't done a
puzzles.
puzzle in a while,
That's
right?
it. That's gonna be our next thing.
Or backgammon. We haven't played backgammon in a while. You love
my
backgammon.
God, I love
don't know what's up
backgammon.
with you and backgammon, but you're just like you're like a slut for backgammon, man.
What is your problem, dude? Guys, it was a pleasure.
No, but again, research it.
Yes.
Read a book. Listen to a podcast. Okay? And you know what's a good book? And yes, you probably have all heard of it before, The 5 Love Languages. Because again, and I'm not promoting, I don't get anything from this, but it will assist you in reminding you or realizing that maybe the things you're doing for that person may not be what they really appreciate.
Or want.
Whether it's quality time or acts of service, or maybe they like something different from that. But yes, so this way you could learn, hey, that's not what they like. Maybe I need to change it up a bit. Or maybe that's not what
Cooking
they like
class.
at that moment.
Go take them to do a cooking class, pottery, whatever. Actually, you know what, guys? If you love
Dance class.
dance class, yes,
Yeah, we did the
dance.
salsa for a little. We got to go back.
Why
actually.
don't you comment? Put in the comments. Let us know one of your date nights. What did you guys do? Maybe you give us new ideas. Go to our website, kevinlilhavewemet.com. Just tell us what your dates were. What was your favorite date with your spouse? And you'll give us ideas. Okay, guys, please forward, share, send smoke signals.
I think she meant to say follow.
Follow, like, comment.
Yeah, carrier pigeon, whatever else you need. Okay?
We appreciate you. Bye.
So thank you for listening to Kev.
And Lil,
Have we met? And here's hoping you have better relationships in your life. Goodbye.
Goodbye.